Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Now for today's video, we're trying out some new and some viral makeup products together. I have so much new makeup that I need to try. I'm really slacking in that department, so I thought, you know what? I need to sit down with my friends, chill for a little bit, give you guys my opinions as I go. You can call this a full face of first impressions because we are literally trying out a full face of new makeup. So grab some coffee, grab some tea, some snacks, or whatever it is that you want because we're going to be here for a while. And without any further ado, because I don't want to make this intro any longer, this video is already going to be pretty long. So without any further ado, if you want to try out some new makeup with me and a lot of viral products as well, then please keep on watching. As usual, I'm going to start off by priming my face, and I have this one by Elle18. It's their Ace Base Primer. Comes in a tiny little packaging and it's priced pretty economically as well. So I'm super excited to try this out. Elle18 has been coming out with a lot of new makeup and I've been trying all of them out behind the scenes as well. Now I am not a big fan of their concealer, but I really like their blushes and their tints. They were really nice. But this is what the texture of the primer looks like. It's a clear gel-like texture, so I'm assuming this is supposed to be more pore filling and mattifying because textures like these generally mean that. So I'm just warming this up in between my fingers and then I'm just going to pat it into my skin. Now this does not have any fragrance in there, which is a good thing because Elle18 and Lakme can go generally a little heavy-handed with their fragrances. That can be slightly nauseating, but this one does not have any fragrance, which is nice. And this also does not feel drying on the skin. Now textures like these can feel drying instantly, but this one is kind of velvety. It's very velvety on the skin and it feels really nice as well. But I'm really excited to see how the other products layer on top of this because that's the main point of a primer, because if your primer is not right, then baby girl, that makeup is going to be disastrous. Okay, my face feels pretty velvety and smooth to the touch and the primer's had some time to settle down, so we can now move on to the next step, which is something I rarely do, and that is color correction. But we're going to be color correcting today because Simplynam came out with their new color correctors, and this is called their Hydrafit color correctors, and they come in multiple shades, but I have the shade Apricot with me right here, which I feel is going to be a nice match for me. Now this again comes in a tiny little packaging, but the price point is not going to be as tiny as Elle18, but that's fine. Different brands, different niches, different TGs. We're just going to go ahead with this and I'm just going to apply it to the areas which I feel are problem areas for me, areas where I have hyperpigmentation or maybe some, discoloration or some acne. That's what a color corrector is supposed to combat. I think all of the correctors have a little bit of orange in them, like apricot, peach, and all of that. I might be wrong. I received 3 different shades and all of them are like different shades of like peaches and like they go deeper and all of that, which is great. It's supposed to be for different skin tones and all of that. But now I'm going to start blending this out. Now I'll try to not use a proper concealer today because I want to go for that very everyday natural skin look and have a very natural skin tint next up. So hopefully we don't have to go in with the concealer, especially because we are going with the color corrector first. So it'll take care of all of the discoloration that I generally leave for my concealer to cover and all of that. Now this is the effect that you can, expect with this color corrector. It's very, very subtle and the texture is so lightweight as well. Back in the day when color correction was something that was just introduced to us YouTube people, we had those thick pasty concealers that were so heavy, and this just feels so lightweight and it blends into the skin. It looks so beautiful. Like it's not as orange like back in the day people were using red lipstick, orange lipsticks and whatnot to color correct, and it was crazy. Okay, things were going a little out of hand, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't really ever super huge in color corrector. Yeah, there was a phase when I was trying them out because everyone told me that I needed to color correct my dark circles, which weren't as prominent as some other people. Everyone does not need a color corrector, but if it's this subtle, then everyone can use it, especially if you want to go for like a very, very light base and you don't want to like highlight your under eyes and all of that, then you can definitely go for something like this. Like look at how beautifully it's just neutralizing my under eye dark circles. Like it's just wow, it's so seamless. Let me try and blend this out with my finger as well because the texture just feels something so nice, and I want to see how the effect's going to be with a finger against like a brush, because you can expect different finishes with different tools, right? So now they ideally tell you to use a sponge. I haven't been using a sponge since a very long time, since I think YBP stopped making sponges because they were my favorite sponge company. But even with your fingers you can have like a nice amount of coverage and finish and everything. It can go a little streaky with the finger. Maybe it's like because of my nails I'm not using my fingers to their maximum potential, but I think I prefer the finish with a brush. That looks absolutely beautiful. There's just something about applying a concealer or a color corrector and watching all of your dark circles and everything just vanish away. It just makes me feel so much better about myself. I don't know if it's just me. If that's the case with you as well, then let me know. But let's move on to our next product, which is going to be GloTint by Russ. Now, this is one of their newest launch and it comes in about 8 shades if I'm not mistaken. And the shade range seems quite nicely diverse as well because this is not supposed to be a high coverage product in itself. So I have 2 shades with me right here. Probably I'll have to mix them in because I don't feel like there's a shade that's completely meant to be for me. But I'll actually start with a lighter shade first because I can easily deepen it up with a bronzer or something later on. Fixing a darker shade or a more yellower shade is more difficult in my opinion and in my experience and in my skill set as well. So I'm starting off with the shade Alder. I hope that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. I'm not too sure. You're supposed to twist left and pull up, and that is the packaging. I'm going to shake it. I think they've said to shake it really nicely before using this. So I'm going to really shake it well. And I'm just going to take, I think I'll start with that much. That much should be enough. And this has, oh, this has a lot of floral fragrances in there. This is nicely fragranced and this definitely does seem light for me. So I'm not gonna take that risk, and this does have a nice thick texture. I wasn't expecting that, especially because they've said it's a tint, like a skin tint. So I don't think I was expecting that, but yeah, that's gonna be way too light. So I'm gonna mix in the shade Taupe into here, and I'm again gonna just shake it up so that we have nice even texture going on. And I'm just going to drop in, I think, oh, the shades are very similar though. Like I thought this is supposed to be way too dark than this one because they look very different in the bottle, but on the hand, oh no, there is a clear difference. Am I color blind suddenly? I don't know. Let me just try Taupe by itself. And I think that by itself can also match me, but let me mix it up and see. Oh, this is a thick tint. It's not a thin tint, it's a thick tint like you can see. But I think that's not gonna match me, so I'm gonna remove it. Thankfully, I had my rag handy dandy. But I think I'm just gonna go in with the shade Taupe and not with like a mixture of two. So I'm just picking it up from the top and I'm just going to dot it first on just one side to see what kind of coverage we can expect. This feels more like a foundation than a tint, to be honest. So I'm actually gonna go in with my brush. I was actually planning to use my fingers, but it's not gonna work out. I know that for sure. And I'm just going to blend this out now. Don't get me wrong, like it's blending out nicely, but I wasn't expecting this texture. Like I was expecting a more lighter texture for some reason. And the fragrance again, it just reminds me of something. I'm not able to like quite put my finger onto it, like what is it reminding me of, but it's reminding me of something very very nostalgic, honestly. But okay, once it's blended out, I think you'll definitely need a tool with this one. But once blended out, look at how gorgeous that looks on the skin. Ooh, it's sort of like thinned out and sheared out as soon as I started to blend it out, but it was so effortless as well. Like it was so beautiful. Let me also put it on the other side, but I think Taupe is my perfect-ish match. Yeah, that's something I would say. Maybe like a little bit of Alder and then Taupe, maybe. But I think even Taupe would work. I haven't gotten much sun this year, so I haven't like developed a nice tan as well like I generally do. Now this side, a little bit of Alder is mixed in. So you can see there's a little change in the undertone and the color. So I think mixing these two is what I would need to do, but lesser Alder, more Taupe, and not the other way around, which I started off with. But that looks beautiful on the skin. It actually looks so glowy and so natural and so fresh. I'm surprised and pleasantly so. Because I already have so much product on the back of my hand, I'm actually going to pick up the Alder shade that's a little too light for me, and I'm going to use this as a slightly highlighting concealer on my under eyes. And we can also, see how well it would layer, like if I would to just layer the products on top of each other over and over again. And that is just going so beautifully. Like I don't understand the science, because if I'm blending this on top of my hand, like on the back of my hand, it just feels really thick, okay? But as soon as I'm applying this with a brush, it seems to thin out and become almost way too liquidy. Like I'm surprised. Like, I'm a little perplexed. I don't know how to explain this. Like, you can see how beautifully it's blending out. It's not even taking a lot of effort, and it's just looking so effortless as well. Like, it's giving me my skin but better. And that's not something you would expect if you were to just see the texture like this, you know? You wouldn't expect this. And it's looking so beautiful even when you layer it. Like, this is my second layer of the tint on my face, and it doesn't even look like it. I don't know what to tell you guys. I really don't know what to tell you guys. And you don't even need a lot of it again because it's thinning out almost of sorts on the skin. It just, you don't need a lot of quantity. You need a little bit, and a little bit would go a long way. Like, I still have so much on the back of my hand. I really, really did go in with way too much. I'm really liking how my base is looking up until now, but no nazar zone. Please pray for me that it stays this way, because generally in any video where I'm trying out newer products, it goes really well, and as soon as I say it's going so well, it just goes all downhill from there. So let's put a praying emoji in the comment section right now that everything goes well even after this, because next up I'm actually going to be doing my cream blush. I have Maybelline Sunkisser matte blush with me, and the reason why I'm doing my blush first is because I have a powder bronzer, so I think I'm going to do it afterwards once I'm done with all of my cream products. And I have this shade Berry Brunch with me today, which is a beautiful and deep color. Now, I do really like these blushes. I've tried the highlighter version. I've not tried the matte version, and these can be very different from the highlighter ones, because matte sometimes can also means you have to blend out quicker, you have to work more, and more pigmentation as well. Now, I'm not always the fan of more is more kind of theory when it especially comes to blushes, because more can sometimes mean clown cheeks, sometimes mean blush paglu, blush blindness, and all of that, and that's not the look that I'm going for. So I'm literally just gonna do a dot first because I don't know the amount of pigmentation that's in here, and then I'm gonna start blending this out. And I think that was a little too tiny of a dot that just blended out into nothingness. So I think I'm gonna pick it up on my fingers and I'm gonna start blending this out. And I think now I've gotten overboard. Oh my god, is there not an in between with me? What's wrong with me? But that shade is so pretty, and I can see this looking so flattering even on deeper skin tones. Like, for me, this might look a little bit more like, did you go out in minus 30 degrees and like got like frostbitten or something? But I love, love, love shades like these. The other colors in these shades are pretty orangey, and I wanted to go for like more of a purpley vibe, as you can see with for my outfit as well. So I'm going to take a little bit lesser than what I took on that side, and then I'm going to blend it out on this side. But the formulation feels not so rushed. You know, a lot of matte liquid blushes have a very rushed formulation, and by that what I mean is that they just settle down way too quick for you to be able to blend them out, and that's not the game that I'm here to play. I love to take my time with my blushes. I need to know that, you know, I can blend them out, I can work around them. But this looks so pretty even as a color. I'm gonna go back in with my concealer brush, and I'm just going to kind of blend it into my concealer so that it's not as harsh, or, you know, just like a stripe across my face. I like to do this every single time. I do this either with my concealer or my powder depending on the formulation of the blush. But it looks so pretty, and that blended out so beautifully as well. Now, I also have a liquid highlighter to try out. This is from Mars. It's their Glow Fly liquid highlighter, and this is a very, very new launch. Like, I literally got this yesterday, so it's a pretty new launch. And I have the shade 01 Winged Rose. They have three shades, at least three were sent across to me, and the other shades are pretty dark, and even this one doesn't feel like it's going to be like a nice lighter shade for people who are not super medium or deeper on the spectrum. So hopefully this won't give me, like, you know, one of those highlighter effects where you turn around and then you have that dark patchiness going on. I really do not like that. And first of all, I'm not into highlighters anyway right now, so I'm just gonna do a dot right here. I think it's gonna give me a weird shadow. Ah, damn it. And I'm just gonna blend this out, but look at how beautifully that blended out. That was quick. That was quick. The texture is so nice. The texture is so beautiful. That just blended out so quickly. Like, wow. I just wish that they had some better shades in there, because this is giving me a little bit of shadowing, and I'm not the hugest fan of that. But the texture is just so, so nice. Now it's time to powder everything down and set it so it does not smudge all day, all night, or at least that's what we are hoping for. So I have the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder and I really wanted to do what it says it will do. I wanted to set my makeup while also giving me a little bit of glow because I hate when powders make me look crusty, matte, and almost like life was sucked out of me. I like a little luminescence to my face, and especially because I'm a dry skin girl, I really want my powders to not dry me out. So we're going to be trying this one out today. So excited. I really love e.l.f. as a brand, and this one, it does have a sift right here, and then you just need to twist the cap to get to the sift, which I did pre-open just to save you guys a little bit of time as well. I'm going to take a little bit of this powder on the back of my cap just to, you know, have a nice place to pick it up, and then with the help of my brush I'm just going to take it up. I'm going to make sure that I don't pick up a lot in one go because I want to see how this powder performs, and then tapping off the excess I'm just going to start setting my under eyes down first just to see the effect it has on my under eyes. And okay, look at that difference though, it has brightened my under eyes like no one's business. And I think it's only available in one color or maybe two. I might be wrong, I'm not too sure, but okay. And it almost has a very blurring effect to it as well. Like, is it just me who can see the blurring effect? I hope you guys can see as well, because this is just going so nicely on the under eyes. It does have like ethically sourced mica in there, like a little touch of ethically sourced mica. Let me actually swatch it on the back of my hand for you guys to see. Oh, this is so soft as well. It feels really soft, like a little bit touch of mica just to give it that luminescence that they're talking about. But this is also setting everything down so efficiently while not giving a dry look. So I think it is doing what it says it will do, and that is everything that I could want from it. But it just looks so beautiful. You know, it's almost like I'm waiting for a shoe to drop right now because there hasn't been a really bad dud right now. Like, even with the Mars highlighter, it was only the shade that didn't work. The formulation is absolutely beautiful, but it's just like, when is that dud gonna come along? Because I know it's going to come along. I can hope it doesn't, but I know it's going to. So yeah, I only have a few steps on my base left. I think next I'm gonna move on to my bronzer, which comes from Just Herbs. This is their Nourishing Pressed Bronzer, and Just Herbs right here has been dropping makeup products left, right, and center, and I don't see a lot of people talking about it. So I've been buying them because they're very affordable as well. So let's try all of them out, right? I'm gonna try them one by one, but I have the shade Honey with me right here, which does seem like a nice bronzer shade. It's pretty warm as you can see, but it's a bronzer. I don't know what else you would expect from it. And I have my brush right here that I'm going to be using. Let's first actually do a swatch to see the texture and all of that. And this feels semi-buttery. It's not the butteriest powder that I've touched ever, but not bad. And this is what it swatches like. Ooh, that is one warm color, okay? That is one warm color. And it is blending out pretty nicely, at least on the back of my hand. So hopefully it's not going to make me look like an Oompa Loompa, or even worse, Donald Trump. Hopefully that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of it first on my brush, not a lot, dusting off the excess. And I'm just going to start stamping this right here where you would want to bronze up. Ooh! This is what I was fearing. This is Donald Trump. This is giving me Oompa Loompa. I'm just going to take a little lesser product and stamp it on this side. Okay, I think it's the shade, you know, it's a little too warm. Like, I get a bronzer supposed to be warm, but this is a little too orangey. Let's try the forehead. Okay, is this the shoe? Has it hit me in the face? I don't know. I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and just bronze the areas that I bronze with a very, very, very light hand. I'm literally just touching my brush like that and then just blending everything out to fill so that I don't have, okay, a little bit of patchiness is there. Okay, I'm not too sure how I feel about this, which says a lot because I've been so sure about the other products. And this one, even though the powder, the consistency and the texture feels fine, it's not the best, but it feels fine. I'm not going to say that's a bad texture. I just feel like on the face itself, the color is a little too warm and it can have a little issue in blending out. Ooh, let's hope I can fix it. And now for the last step of my base makeup, I have my Swiss Beauty Select Prep Set Matte Makeup Fixer. Basically, this is an aerosol spray, so this is supposed to really give you long-lasting makeup and very flawless finish and all of that. So hopefully, I'm not going to get any blotchiness. I'm going to do the first spray in the air. Ooh, that looks fine. Hopefully, you guys were able to see that as well. But I'm just going to spritz my face down with this. That is fine. That feels nice and it has a very light, refreshing fragrance to it as well. Ooh, I could bathe in this, which I literally do with any setting spray, but this just feels so nice and refreshing. And there are no blotches on my skin, which is always a yay. Even with a few hiccups in between, the base looks phenomenal. And now it's time to get to the more stressful part, the eyebrows. I want to cue that viral Instagram music and say, eyebrows are stressful, eyebrows are stressful, eyebrows are stressful, because that's true. Eyebrows can make or break your makeup. Actually, every step in the makeup I feel is a make or break. If your blush goes overboard, if your primer's not fine, if your concealer's not really setting in place, everything can make or break. So everything has to go fine for your makeup to look phenomenal, but especially with eyebrows, because there's just so much that can go wrong, and I generally go really wrong with my eyebrows here and there. Like, it's a very frequent happening that happens. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by trying out the Rom&nd eyebrow pencil. This is called the Hand All Sharp Brow, and I've had this for a while. I don't know why I haven't still tried it out. And this is a pretty micro pencil. Like, it's fine. Okay, it's a tiny pencil. I think it's pretty similar to what Goof Proof Precisely is. No, Benefit Precisely my brow is. And I have the shade, I think, Gentle Brown. Yes, this is the shade Gentle Brown. So I'm just gonna start off by outlining my brows of sorts. My eyebrow filling routine hasn't really changed. The style of doing my eyebrows has changed over the years, but the way I fill them in has pretty much been a constant. Like, I like to have a line underneath that I blend it out upwards with the spoolie, so that it gives hair-like effect, and then I just go from there. I just like to have a map of sorts to know where I need to place the product, but the texture feels a little drier. Let me try it right here. Yeah, it's a little on the drier side of things. Let me warm it up. Maybe it works better after that. It's a little drier. I prefer my eyebrows pencils to be slightly on the drier side, not super waxy, because they can feel very gloopy and stuck, but this feels a little too dry on the edge of, is it even filling into my brows? That was something I faced with the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. Like, I was like, where is this product going? Am I even doing anything? Because it feels like I'm literally not being able to fill into my brows. But okay, this does not look shabby. Have I tried better eyebrow pencils? I have. So I don't think this is my most favorite formulations out there, but it's not a bad one. I would give it more leeway if it was like a more, drugstore affordable brand. But because it's not, I can't give it that much of a leeway. My brows look good though, like one brow, not brows, because the other one is literally naked right now. But yeah, I feel like I have tried better pencils and like in a similar style and size. Given the fact that Swiss Beauty literally has a brow pencil that is this tiny and works phenomenally, I don't think I'll be like, go out and buy this one. I won't say that. And this is going by really fast. Like, it's one of those pencils that you need a lot of product of in order to do your brows, so it will get emptied out quickly. And now on to the next step, which is literally the most difficult step in my makeup routine. I have to stick my brows down or stick them up, because we're going to be combing them upwards, but you know what I mean, right? Now, this is impossible for me because my brow hair are so stubborn. They fall flat within 5-10 minutes, and the only thing that's been able to come close to keeping them slightly in place is NYX Stick It. And today I'm trying its successor, which is the Brow Glue by NYX, and this is something I have high expectations from. I have bought both the shades, so today I'm going to be trying out the clear one because I want to see how it works, and because of the eyebrow pencil and everything, I wanted to try this one out, and I'll try the brown one out sometime in the future. But I really want this to work because I'm looking at it as something that I can look at for my wedding as well, because Stick It sometimes comes in stock, sometimes isn't, and the brush on that one is slightly bigger, while this one has a tinier brush, which is something I want from my eyebrow gel. So I'm just going to comb my brow hair upwards just to get some volume to them and stick them down. And this feels sticky already. Okay, this feels sticky, like it has a nice sticky texture to it. So hopefully my brow hair by the end of this video will not come down. Hopefully a girl can hope and pray for things and miracles, right? Right? I'm just going to stick them down a little too rustically because I know it will still fall a little down. So this is the sort of look I'm going for, like slight fluffiness, not too much. And hopefully my brows will stay here, hopefully. My brows are already coming a little down, and that's why I stuck them slightly higher up so that they'll land at the place that I want them to be at. I hope that makes sense. But now let's move on to the actual eye makeup, and I only have one product for every eye makeup step that I'm going to be doing today, because I'm going to be trying out the Mars Trio today, and this has an eyeshadow, an eyeliner, and a mascara in here, and the packaging is so fun. Like, it's a magnetic packaging that you can take apart if you just want one product, or you can stick it back together to have like a nice trio right here. So I'm going to start off with the third step, which is the eyeshadow. I don't know why they've numbered it third, because the first step is the eyeliner, then the second step is mascara, and then the third step is eyeshadow, which is a little weird and a little out of place. But I'm going to start off with the eyeshadow, and this is a liquid eyeshadow, and you guys know I love liquid eyeshadows and I love one-and-done eyeshadow, so this just seems right up my alley, and I was about to drop it but saved it, saved the day. So I'm just going to apply this all over my eye, and ooh, this looks like fairy dust, and it also matches my outfit pretty nicely, which is a coincidence. I did not really plan it out, it's a coincidence. But yeah, this looks so beautiful, and it's not super gritty as well. Let me check the texture. Yeah, it's not gritty, so it's not gonna poke you in the eyes, and this is so beautiful. Like, the shimmers and the reflexes, pretty. Now you do have to layer it a little bit in order to get to the opacity that I have. I think I did about 3 layers, and you really have to make sure that they dry properly before you open your eyes. Otherwise it can crease, which is the case with most liquid eyeshadow, so there's nothing new or novel about it. So make sure you let it dry completely if you want beautiful sparkly eyes, or you can just do a sheer layer of sparkle as well. Even that looks really pretty. Now we're going to move on to the first step, or the second step in my dictionary, which is going to be the eyeliner. I really hope that they have other colors in here as well. Like, this is, I think they only have a purple color, but I really hope they come out with more colors. The eyeliner though looks like a black. Yeah, that is a black. So I think what I'm gonna do with this is, I really don't want to do a liner look, but let's just do like a nice tiny baby wing maybe. And now that I've said baby wing, I know already that I'm going to be going for a dramatic wing, because a baby wing, whenever I've like said and done it, has never really played along with me. It has always gone out to be way more dramatic than what I intend it to be. That is just how wing liners are. They can sense your fear, they can sense your stress, and they just go to town with that stress. But this is a nice and pointy liner. It's not a felt tip, it is a brush, which is something I prefer. Felt tips, I feel like over a period of time can really like disrupt your eyeliner skills, because they're a little too harsh, and they just get that lint effect as well. I don't know, I'm not the hugest fan of felt tip brushes. Yeah, look at that fish liner coming through. It's, I know it's already gonna be like a massive nightmare trying to, match these eyeliners, because they're a little wonkier as well, which is gonna be the case with my eyes, because my eyes are a little wonky. Like, they're not the same line, they're not the same shape, they're not even the same crease. Like, this crease is way too deep than this crease is. So yeah, it's gonna be the case anyway, but good luck to me making that work. This is by no means a baby wing, but it still looks pretty nice, and I went in for like a half liner effect, which I think still works out. And once I put on my lashes, I feel it's all gonna come together. But let's first try out their mascara, which is their second step and my third step, and hopefully this works. Mars mascaras for me somehow haven't really worked up till now. I think I haven't really tried the best of the formulations, but this has a nice conical wand, so I'm really hoping that this mascara gives me everything that I want a Mars mascara to give. I've heard people have really good, results as well with their Mars mascara. Mine just somehow haven't worked. Like, I've gotten dry packaging and all of that. So yeah, this one really needs to be the redemption arc. But even if it gives me like the most basic ass effect, I feel like this is such a good idea to have such a travel friendly trio with everything that you need. This is going to be perfect for like vacations and everything, where you want like low maintenance makeup, not only on the face but also to travel along with. And yes, this mascara is, I feel it's not going to give me everything like I want it to, but it's going to be a very basic ass mascara. Like, you can see, like, it's giving me basic energy. I know with my mascaras, generally I want them to do everything and more for me, but just in this specific case, I can let it slide a little bit, just a little bit. I'm on to my last product, and dare I say this has been one of the best trying out new makeup sort of videos because nothing has been a super dud, okay? So fingers crossed this last product will also pass with flying colors because I have Flossy's Glaze Balm with me right here. And first of all, how cute is this packaging? Now it comes in 3 different shades, and I have the shade Jhatka, which is a deep berry shade, and this just looks so cute. And this is what the balm looks like it's such a pretty shade. I'm hoping it's a little sheerer than what it looks like in the pan because I want a shade that's slightly sheerer than this, and it has a nice creamy buttery texture. Let's just put it. Ooh, that is pigmented. Okay, I was not expecting it to be this pigmented, but it is. But it's so creamy and so nice. But I don't think it's gonna go with my look, so we will have to do something about it. But it has such a nice texture. It's so comfortable, and it has such a nice amount of pigment in there as well. Like you can build it up as well. Or maybe this is looking good, like a purple monochrome look with a deeper purple lip. It might be a vibe. It might be. What do you guys think? Now, I didn't realize this, but this actually is a multi-balm, so I could have used this as my blush as well, and that's a stunning shade, and the formulation is just perfection. It has such a nice velvety feel to it. Like, look at how beautifully it is blending out, and on the cheeks, as I said, it would have looked stunning, and I just looked up on the website. They have so many shades, and they're so stunning. I cannot wait to try all of them out, but look at how stunning it's looking on the lips as well. Like, I really thought I needed a nude to mute it down, but this look, I think, is a vibe. And that is it, guys. I really like how this look has turned out, and honestly, so many good new products. Obviously, I will keep on trying these out, and you will see these featured on my channel if they really pass the test of time. But as a first impression, a first opinion, this is everything I feel about these products. Do let me know if you would want me to try out more new products with you guys, and I would absolutely love to do that with you. But that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know what is a new product that you bought and absolutely fell in love with in the first impression itself. But as I said, that's going to be it for today's video. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, take care. I love you all so much. Mwah. Bye.